All right, so this is our third time recording this video. We actually recorded a whole thing for like an hour long. Maybe it wasn't meant to be. Maybe we were meant to do this a little bit quicker. So we're going to go through our top 15 favorite John Carpenter films. We were actually a little bit tipsy when we did the last video.
Yeah.
Now we've completely sobered up, but we actually still have a
Not
little
for
bit
long.
more. Yeah, not for long. We actually need it for this one. We're going to do way more of these. You know, we have an Ingmar Bergman planned. We got a Federico Fellini, World of Wong Kar-wai, classic monster movies. Did I say Ingmar Bergman?
Yeah.
That's our big one. That'll be for a while. But we also want to do a top 25 Hitchcock, and that's going to come here soon. We're still finishing the rest of his filmography, but we wanted to do the John Carpenters. We've been doing the John Carpenter films or going through them for the last 2 weeks. It's been a lot of fun. But we're not going to waste any more time. Here's our top 15 John Carpenter films. We're going to do one honorable mention, and you go ahead and go first. What is your honorable mention?
My honorable mention is going to be Assault on Precinct 13.
Assault on Precinct 13. Now, we won't talk about our honorable mentions too much because they're going to be on both of our lists. My honorable mention, which I guess I would call my dishonorable mention, I didn't really like this film at all. I'm going to go with Prince of Darkness. Now, I don't mean to offend anybody that actually likes that film because, look, it's just my opinion. It's just our opinions. I've actually had somebody that went well out of their way for one of my rankings. I won't say which one because they might be watching this video. That was actually a very fun experience in itself. But we're going to go ahead and start this. I might give you a little bit more airtime considering you've not been on the channel that much. But let's go ahead and do this. What is your number 15? I'll hold up your your choices and then I'll put mine on just the screen. So what's your number 15?
My number 15 is going to be Prince of Darkness.
Really?
Really?
I thought, oh, okay, well, let's go ahead and get this out. It's at the very bottom of over here. Go ahead and talk about it.
So Prince of Darkness, as you know, he didn't really like it too much. He's also destroying our Blu-rays over here as I speak. But Prince of Darkness, I liked it. I thought it was a good movie for the most part. I just feel like it should have ventured out a little more because in the beginning it was really fun. I really liked it. And then about halfway through the movie, it just kind of stayed in the same spot.
Yeah, I wish it would have, that college campus area that it was at, I wish it would have spent more time there because it gave me really serious, Halloween vibes at the beginning of it. I really loved it. And the soundtrack does not stop in this film whatsoever. It's just boom, 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 boom. It does not stop, which it's got a good soundtrack. I mean, every John Carpenter film has a good soundtrack, but I just kind of wish it would have stopped. I don't know. I had a hard.
So excited, and you were like, "So apparently the music doesn't stop the whole time."
Which I was pumped, but I just didn't have that much fun with this film. I did like Donald Pleasance. I did appreciate him in the film, but it just overall I just didn't care. And this is one of the few John Carpenter films we have in 4K.
Yep, one of two.
One of two. In our last review, we said this was the only one until we realized we had another one. But yeah, Prince of Darkness. You got anything to add to it? I don't. It's my honorable mention. So
You mean dishonorable?
dishonorable mention. I gotta watch it again. I might appreciate it more if I watch it again. But
yeah.
my number 15 is Assault on Precinct 13, which was your honorable mention. This actually was at number 1 from somebody else's list that I watched. I forget which one it was. Apparently, this is a remake of Rio Bravo, which Rio Bravo is one of my favorite westerns of all time. I love that movie. I just had a hard time getting into this one. I really did. One thing that John Carpenter does really well with his films, or at least some of his films, I'm not going to say his earlier films because he does do these pretty big, wild, sometimes epic films, but he really does a good job of taking one location and turning it into this really just big sort of story. And it just it feels very, what would be the right word, expansive. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's just in this one location. This is one of them. I would say The Thing and Halloween also does really well too. But I don't know. I still like Assault on Precinct 13. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's number 15, but I have to have it somewhere. I don't know. It just, compared to his other works, I wasn't a big fan, which of course he considers this his first film. But, I mean, I don't know. There's better ones. There's better ones.
Yeah, that's the thing. Especially if it's number 1 on someone else's list, don't hate us.
Yeah.
This is just
it was
opinions.
number 1 on somebody else's list.
Yikes. Well, hopefully they aren't watching this video because they've probably already disowned us.
We're going to piss a lot of people off. We're gonna piss a lot of people off. But what's your number 14, or would it be your number 15?
My number, that would be 14. Number 14 would be vampires.
Vampires. Oh.
Yeah. Vampires. I know that some people maybe didn't like it too much, and I did like it. Don't get me wrong. I just have to put it somewhere. But I just don't feel like it was as good as the other ones. I did like kind of the story behind it, though. All the different, like, vampire lore and the whole, like, the Vatican and all that stuff. I thought it was interesting.
I do think this is a very underrated Carpenter film. I like it a lot. It's higher on my list, so I'll wait and talk about my opinions on it. But got anything else to add? It has the main dude from Videodrome in it.
That is true.
And his name is James Wood. I was actually going to say that. I don't care what anybody says. I was going to say that. And it's also got Bobby Elvis from Sons of Anarchy.
Yes.
And that's awesome. And it has a nice twist too, which
does.
I'll save that unless you want to elaborate on it. But
Mm-mm.
you want me to do it?
I got you.
All right.
Or you got
No,
me.
I got you. So, okay, that's your number 14?
That's my number 14.
All right. My number 14, which I had really no expectations for this film whatsoever. That's one thing with Carpenter's films, especially the rankings and the reviews that I've watched. I was going to go ahead and grab it, but I'm not. It's just, I mean, when somebody says that the film is really bad or really horrible, it kind of moves up there on my list because I'm expecting it to be really bad. But it's not bad. And my number 14 is Village of the Damned, which reminds me of Children of the Corn, which maybe it is a good thing that we redid this because I went on about that a lot.
You did.
And I kept calling it a town, but it's really a village. But it really does sort of remind me what Children of the Corn 2 through 7 should have been. Like, because I just don't like those films whatsoever. I like the remake in Genesis, and I think it was Runaway. But the other ones were garbage. But this has a very Children of the Corn feel to it. I'd actually like to go back and rewatch those. But it's got a very Children of the Corn feel to it. And while this is one of my sort of, it's one of my least favorite Carpenter films, it does do some things right. One of the things that it does wrong is putting Mark Hamill in it. And the reason why I say that is because they don't utilize him whatsoever.
Not at all.
They don't utilize him whatsoever. But it's weird, it's wacky, it's fun. I mean, it's not horrible, it's not bad. It's just gotta put it somewhere.
Exactly.
What's your number 13?
Number 13 is The Ward.
Now, I can actually go ahead and do this one with you because The Ward is my number 13.
Oh, it is? I forgot.
Yeah.
Well, The Ward was, of course, it's his newest one, right?
It is. He has not made a film since this.
Man. And it's his only one not filmed in anamorphic, right?
I think it is. Because
Oh, it
most of his films that he did was 235 anamorphic widescreen. I think this one and what was the first film that he made? I had it on the tip of my tongue. Crap. I'm not even going to bother wasting my breath. But yeah, so this film, I mean, I think it's going to do a lot better later on because that's how The Thing was. Amber Heard is in this. She's not bad. I think she done really good with her performance. And this is just another example of John Carpenter taking that one location and just, going away with it. He's doing a really good job just with the one locations because it's all set. Besides the beginning where she's running through the woods and then setting that house on fire, it's all in the asylum. Mm-hmm. All of it. And it's got an interesting story. It's not bad. It's not a bad film. I know this comes sort of like at the bottom of everybody else's list, but I think it's pretty enjoyable. And it's also got the dude from Chernobyl in it.
Oh yeah, that's what I was.
Yeah, so I mean, I think it's fun.
I
think, and I could see it moving up on my list the more that I watch it. Mm-hmm. Not too much further, but I can see it doing that. Got anything else to add?
I did, but I forgot what I was gonna say. So no.
Okay. All right. So what's your number 12?
Number 12 is Village of the Damned.
Village of the Damned. I've done said what I want to say about it, so you go ahead.
Well, I happen to really, really like this. So watching it made me want to go back.
That's my bad. I should have kept up with this.
Yeah.
My bad. Sorry.
But, oh no, now I'm the one.
So you just go ahead and talk about it.
Yeah.
I'll do this. Go ahead.
So, Village of the Damned. Watching this one makes me really want to go back and watch the original one because I loved the concept of this. I loved the kind of spooky backstory and, I don't know, just the I don't know, the weirdness about it, I guess. And the kid actors were amazing.
Yeah, that is one thing I wish I would have said. That they are pretty damn good.
Yeah, I was actually pretty amazed, especially because they were so little.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, it's hard to, some kid actors are just.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not
their
yeah,
fault.
it's not
I'm
their
not
fault,
saying
but they
that.
done really, especially the lead girl. I guess the person that's the girl right here.
Mm-hmm.
She done a pretty exceptional job. She did good.
Yeah.
I wish I would have seen more Mark Hamill though.
Oh, yeah. That is one thing I was pretty sad about. I was so excited. I was like,
Is it just me, or
"Woo!"
did they not use him that much?
They didn't.
They didn't.
They had his name on the big screen. I was like, oh, Mark Hamill's in this? And I saw him for like 5 minutes, maybe.
John Carpenter's in it.
He is in it.
John Carpenter's in it.
And he looks...
I mean, John Carpenter's awesome. I love
He
John
is.
Carpenter. He's
He just
great.
looks like a regular person.
He really does. My number 12?
You're number 12.
Okay, I'm going to piss a lot of people off with this, and I'm sorry. You're going to piss people off too.
Yeah, but it's mostly you.
Yeah, it's mostly me. So my number 12 is going to be, well, I'm not going to hold it up, but it's Escape from New York. Now, hear me out. I know this is a beloved film, and I get it. Like, seriously, what I was saying in the last review, or the last top 15 that we did before things went completely wrong. This is the film, if I had to pick one Carpenter film, of course, besides Halloween and The Thing, to introduce people to, it would be this film. Because John Carpenter's films, his music is so, like, just out there, because he does all of his scores.
Mm-hmm.
And he puts it in his films, and it's just, the soundtrack in this is awesome. I was listening to the soundtrack for this before I even watched the movie. I'd sit on the front porch and listen to it. Which I know that sounds so boring, putting it that way, but I did.
It was just you just sitting there, just staring off in the distance, that music just booming in your ears.
Yeah. But I like Snake Plissken as a character. I do. I think in
yeah.
Escape from New York, I do think his character is a lot better than his character in Escape from L.A. But Escape from L.A. is, well, just trust me. Hear me out when we'll save it because it's up there. It's up there on our list.
There.
I know we probably threw you guys off, but sorry.
Probably throwing a lot of people off already.
Yeah, probably. All right, what's your number 11? We can actually, I think, both talk about that because I think I remember what your number 11 is.
The Fog?
The Fog, yes.
Yep.
And you like this steelbook.
Oh,
a
I
lot.
love this steelbook. It's one of my favorite steelbooks that we own, which we don't have too many, to be fair. But I just think the colors on it are so pretty.
Yeah, I got this before we got together. I got this like 5 years ago or something. It was, I just wanted it. I couldn't find the regular version anywhere, so this was the only one. And, I mean, I think it's actually kind of rare now. I think it is. But, yeah, The Fog. Now, believe it or not, this was actually at the bottom of my list before we rewatched it. I hated this film. So I watched it when I was little, and I remember watching it and being like, oh my gosh, this is a fog epic. This is a big fog movie. And I remember the scene with the old lady inside the house and the radio tower, and I just remember it being this awesome horror movie that I watched when I was little. So I watched it a few years ago. I hated it. Now rewatching it now, I thought it was very good. Like, I seriously thought it was really good. I thought it was well paced. It's only like an hour and 20 something minutes.
Yeah, it's got Jamie Lee Curtis in it.
Yes.
Another.
And Tom Atkins, I think that's how you say his name. Didn't you say something? What did you say that this reminded you of? Jaws?
Oh yeah, it did remind me of Jaws.
Which I can see that because it reminds you of like Amity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the kind of close-knit small town, you know, they're having their little celebration, and I don't know, and it's on the ocean.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, it's good. I give it all the credit it deserves because I don't know what I was thinking a couple years ago, but going back and rewatching it, yeah.
Because you weren't a cinephile then.
No, I was. I just didn't care too much. Didn't care much.
You were picking the wrong movies.
I was. I really was. I think my expectations were just way too high.
Yeah, you're like, wow, this was so good when I was little. Then you go back and nothing's the same.
No, it's not. That happens with a lot of movies. That's why I'm scared to go back and rewatch Indiana Jones.
Oh, gosh.
No, I shouldn't be. Those are great movies.
It's
All right.
Be good.
What's your number 10? We're getting into our top 10 now.
Yeah. It's going to be Escape from New York.
Escape from New York.
Escape from
Okay,
New
so it made
York.
it to your top 10.
So, yes. I know like you already said, the soundtrack is amazing, and Snake Plissken is just one of those like almost mythical creatures, even though he's
Why
a
would you
human.
say creatures?
Well,
Why you're just you said that in the last one.
you know what I mean, like a mythical human.
Why would you say creature?
Well, I mean, mythical creature comes to your head more than mythical human.
Yeah, but
he is, okay? He's just walking through New York. Everybody knows him. It's like, oh, wow, that's Snake Plissken. It's just so cool. And all the sci-fi, all the, like, technology that it's supposed to have. And
it's got Harry Dean Stanton in it.
Oh, yeah, Harry Dean Stanton.
I mean, that just... I feel bad for putting it where it's at, but I mean, I can't help it. Maybe I need to watch it. Maybe I got to rewatch it a bunch more times before I can. But I still like the film.
Yeah.
I mean, I still like the film, but it made it in your top 10, so maybe it might not. Maybe
Yeah.
people won't be too pissed off at us.
Yeah, hopefully between the two of us, they won't be mad at both of us at the same time.
You only care about them being mad at you. You don't care about them being mad at me.
Baby, this is your channel. You gotta take the heat.
True, but it's our video. Okay, so my number 10 was one that you just talked about, vampires. I liked it. My friend Zach told me about it a few years ago, and I never watched it, but I really did like it. Watching the first 20 minutes of it, I had like a different, point of view of the film, because like you think it's going to go one way, and then something happens, and then it just goes a complete, just different direction, and I like that because I wasn't expecting it. And I'm not going to say what that is because it's kind of spoilery. I don't want to say it. It is definitely spoilery, but it's a fun movie. And fun fact, the hotel that they filmed in was the same hotel they filmed No Country for Old Men in. And that was just, that was cool because I knew as soon as I seen it, because No Country for Old Men is one of my favorite films ever made. I mean, I love that film. And yeah, it was just, I don't know, I like it. It's underrated. Most of the rankings that I see, when people talk about the film, they say like their dad showed it to. I think I watched 2, and it said their dad showed it to them. So I guess it's like a very daddy film or whatever.
Absolutely, and of
daddy
course
film.
it's a weird word, but we also grew up on Lost Boys.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Lost Boys was. I think that's one of the best, if not the best, vampire movie ever. I love Lost Boys. I would like to rank them, but there's just only 3.
Yeah.
There's only 3.
So if you have kids, show them Lost Boys.
Show them Lost
Boys. Or vampires.
So you done your top 10 already? I done my top 10. You're at number 9.
Ghosts of Mars.
Ghost of Mars. There you go.
So that one, of course, has Ice Cube in it.
Mm-hmm.
Ice Cube can't really go wrong with him. We did it again. What did you do?
We forgot to show him Assault on Precinct 13.
Again?
Again.
Aww. Poor Assault on Precinct 13. But Ghost of Mars, it was just so... I love the atmosphere, first of all. And just the kind of space, the whole sci-fi, like they're on a different planet. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I like all that kind of stuff. I think it's pretty cool.
This is another example of John Carpenter using like a small location and then utilizing it to, its biggest potential.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, seriously, straight up, it's just, it's interesting. I mean, because the set looks fake. It doesn't look like they're on Mars. I mean, you don't got nobody fooled. They're not on Mars. But just Jason Statham and I mean, Ice Cube and it's just got a great cast. Mm-hmm. It's meant to be cheesy.
Oh, it's got the lady from Jackie Brown in it too.
It does. Wait, was she in Escape from L.A.?
She might have been.
Because I think the last 3 John Carpenter films he did was Vampires, this, and The Ward. Mm-hmm. But I think she was in Escape from L.A.
She may have been.
I think. I'm not sure. Huh. I don't know. You got anything else to add? Because it's higher up on my list.
Yeah, he'll talk about it later.
Yeah, I'll talk about it
later. He'll talk about it a lot later.
So, my number... What am I, number 9?
Yep, number 9.
So, my number 9 is In the Mouth of Madness with Sam Neill. This film feels really familiar to me. I don't know if I've seen it when I was younger. It feels really familiar.
It does.
And it is one of the most creepier... probably the creepiest John Carpenter films, because it's got that bike scene with that old man, and That was actually kind of creepy, and it's got what
Hayden Christensen.
Yeah, Hayden Christensen in it. So and then he put Mark Hamill in his films.
So pretty much he's turned into the next George Lucas.
No, not even close.
I'm kidding.
Don't say that.
I kid.
Don't say that. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for what it was. I like the whole Sutter Kane thing because apparently Sutter Kane was based off of Stephen King.
Oh, I can see that
So,
for sure.
I mean, that's, well, of course, because he directed Christine. So, I'm not going to say too much more about it because isn't it higher up on yours?
Yeah. I mean, Sutter Kane, Stephen King.
Yeah.
They sound pretty familiar. And Cool and Nobody, John Carpenter.
Definitely. So, what's your number 8? I think I know what your number 8 is.
In the Mouth of
It
Madness.
is in the Mouth of Madness, so go ahead and talk about it.
All right, so In the Mouth of Madness, as you already said, I just love the whole concept of it. I love the beginning of it when he's trying to figure out what the heck is going on. And then, of course, they go to, that little town and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I really did like the dynamic between Sam Neill and, what's her name? Julie Carmen? Guess so.
Sounds about right. But the small town was so cute, and they had the little hotel. It felt like a storybook. It really did. When they pull into that town, and I won't spoil anything more.
Yeah, don't spoil anything because it's good. It is worth the watch.
It's absolutely worth the watch.
I didn't have hardly any expectations for this going in it because I've heard mixed things about it. But when we sat down and watched it, I actually had a good time. And that soundtrack at the beginning, though, yeah, that was good. That was really good. All right, my number 8.
Your number 8.
So my number 8 is Escape from L.A. Now, hear me out. The reason why I enjoy Escape from L.A. a lot more than I enjoy Escape from New York is because I like the side characters a lot more, and I enjoyed the setting of L.A. more than I did New York. New York and Escape from New York just felt really dead. There was just something about it. It just didn't feel alive. It just felt like this sort of just dead, bare bones city. But Escape from LA, it just felt like this. It felt like there was something always going on. You know?
Constant party.
Yeah, constant parties just going on. And it was a lot of fun. And the supporting actors, like Steve Buscemi. And it's even got, what's his name? Peter Fonda. It's got Peter Fonda, even though he's not in it for that long. And he's in it. In the surf scene, while people think it's corny, I think it's awesome.
I think it's cool.
It's cool. And the basketball scene, Steve Buscemi makes the movie for me. I mean, we love Steve Buscemi in this house. Steve Buscemi is just absolutely fantastic.
So good in QB Halloween, too.
He was. And Escape from LA just felt more like if I could compare it to something, it kind of felt like Fallout. It kind of felt like a Snake Plissken was just walking around this apocalyptic place, this dystopian place, and then he's just talking to all these different characters, and he found himself in these situations, and it was just so much fun, and that's just, personally speaking, I like Escape from New York. Maybe there's nobody else in the world besides us that likes Escape from, or wait, I say Escape from New York? No, Escape from LA. I like Escape from LA better. Maybe we're the only people in the world. Maybe we're not.
Maybe.
But, I'm sorry. That's just how I feel. That's how you feel, too. It's higher up on your list.
I loved it.
Golly. All right. Then what's your number 7?
Number 7 is Big Trouble in Little China.
And I still can't believe you have that this low.
I know. Trust me. I really love it.
And what's up with Dennis Dunn not being on the cover?
Yeah.
What's up with Dennis Dunn not being on the cover? That shit pisses me off so bad. That's trash. This cover is trash. It doesn't even have Dennis Dunn on it. John Carpenter even considered him the lead character.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just ridiculous. That's just
no. But I liked it. And hear me out. I was thinking about this when we watched it. Do you remember that episode of SpongeBob where it's like the Karate Island? And they have to go up the different levels and fight the different people?
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
That's what it reminds me of.
Okay.
I think that was inspired by that big time. You also have Mortal Kombat inspired by it. It's a really good movie. It's definitely,
it's fun. It is. I think it reminds me of I'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
I mean, it's up there.
But it's so much fun, and you have all these just stuff that just comes out of the woodworks. You wouldn't think you would find it in a little Chinatown.
Yeah.
But
it's wild.
It's wild.
It's a lot wilder than I thought it was going to be for sure.
Oh, yeah. What is your number 7 or 8?
Number 7.
Number 7.
So my number 7, and this is, like I said, probably going to piss a lot of people off. I'm going to go with Ghost of Mars. I enjoyed this film because I went into it not expecting anything. We weren't even going to pick this film up.
No.
I heard horrible things about this film. People said this film was garbage. It was the worst Carpenter film. I watched it and I loved it.
You were like a little kid watching it.
I know, it was awesome. Ice Cube was a badass. Like I said, it's that one location. I'm a big fan of films that are set in like one location, and then it just like, it seems like just this bigger story. The one thing I think I hated about the film was the dissolves. I hated how they like cut and transitioned to like different scenes, but other than that, it was good. Yeah, it was corny, and apparently this film was meant to be a comedy. I guess Carpenter like fought with the studios or whatever. I think after this he said he was done, but then he made The Ward, which this is just coming from other reviews and stuff like that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I'm not a reviewer or anything. I like talking about movies and stuff.
I still am pretty salty that it didn't get turned to Escape from Mars.
Yeah, that would have been cool. I would love for John Carpenter to do one more film with an older Kurt Russell and do his Escape from Earth.
That would probably be one of my favorites.
That would be... it won't happen, but I wish it did.
If it ever did.
Because that could be his trilogy.
Yeah, it could be his full trilogy.
Yeah, that could be his trilogy.
I feel like there are enough people now that actually like the film.
Yeah.
Because when they came out, they didn't like it. People love it now.
Oh, absolutely. If John Carpenter was to make a film now, people would be lining up to the theaters. I know I would.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
So, number 6. What's your number 6?
Number 6. The much-awaited Escape from L.A.
Escape from L.A. Okay, so you do have it up there.
I do have it up there. I had so much fun watching this. I love the set so much. You get to go to, like, Mulholland Drive and the Hollywood sign, which I haven't personally been to L.A. yet, but I just feel like it was a lot more sprawling. In New York, it just felt so enclosed. And then you get to L.A., and it's just big time.
And it's got Bruce Campbell in it.
And Bruce Campbell,
Bruce Campbell, which he's not in it for that long, but
No.
it's still crazy. He's in it. It's got Bruce Campbell, Peter Fonda, Steve Buscemi, and Kurt Russell.
That's a pretty stellar cast.
That is. You think about it. That is pretty freaking stellar.
Yeah. And I can't believe people didn't like it when it first came out. I really can't because...
People still don't like it.
Seriously?
Yeah, a lot of reviews I listen to, people say it's like one of the worst.
Oh, no.
I know, we pissed a lot of people off.
Yeah, we have.
We are so sorry.
We have weird tastes, I guess.
We do. Well, we have been watching these back and forth, like back to back, so.
Yeah, that's true. We're pretty invested in John Carpenter at this point. It's going to be hard to break off.
I think our top 5 is acceptable, though, but my number 6 is They Live, with Keith David and Roddy Piper. Now, back in the day, like, getting a WWE superstar, they was like, no, what? But now, like, WWE superstars, you see it, like, I remember when John Cena was in The Marine. Oh my gosh, that film was, like, huge back in the day. Everybody was watching that film, which I was a big WWE fan. But, like, I really enjoyed seeing Roddy Piper, like, come on Monday Night Raw. And just, man, he's such a good actor, too. Such a good guy. Like, he seems like just such a good guy. Him and Keith David just work right off each other in this. And I don't know if they said this, but I think it was the longest fight scene in cinematic history, or it was the longest improvised scene in cinematic history. Maybe that was at the time. Maybe not anymore. But yeah, it's impressive. It's a good film. It really is. I like the whole sort of just subject matter of it, and it's it's different. Compared to John Carpenter's other films, this film is more tongue-in-cheek than a lot of his films, and I really like it a lot, which I'll let you talk more about it because I know it's higher up on your list.
It is, just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
All right.
You going number 5?
Yep, number 5 is They Live, of course.
Oh, okay, so They Live is on there. Okay.
Yeah, it's right there.
I thought it was a little bit higher.
No, but this was the one I was most excited about to watch in our little movie pile that we had, and it delivered on every level. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I thought, and it came out, like, I think right before an election, so therefore it is a little bit more of his political films, really. Kinda.
It's a little bit political.
It's a little bit political.
We're not really that political.
No, we're
not. I like
not.
pissing everybody off.
I know you do. But it's just so much fun, and the aliens in it, the sunglasses, it's such a cool concept. And you're pretty much following a homeless man around, and he's just trying to figure out what the heck is going on.
Yeah.
It's
And I
just,
love Keith David. He's also
Oh.
in The Thing too. He's such a good. I wish he would have been in a lot more stuff. Like he seriously is a great actor. I mean, him and Roddy Piper. Just thinking about it, they make a great dynamic duo.
They made a great duo, and they just played off each other's energy,
Yeah.
especially in the fight scene. I cannot. That was so much fun. I'm not really a big like fight scene person, but that one, I could watch that all day. That was fun.
It was a lot of fun. It's pretty funny too.
Yes.
So my number 5.
Your number 5.
My number 5 is Christine. Now this film is. Now I watched it when I was really little, and I loved the special effects. I mean, even still to this day, how the car like just wrecks and gets all crumbled up, and then it just like pops back out. That's insane.
That is.
I still think that Christine and The Thing are some of the best movies for special effects to this day.
Absolutely.
And the film's got a badass soundtrack. It's just got a great atmosphere, and I consider it a compliment because I've had somebody in my Christine review said I look like Arnie, and then at your grandpa's funeral somebody said that I look like Arnie again, but they said post Arnie, post car Arnie, and post car Arnie was kind of badass, so I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yeah, it's a pretty good compliment, I guess.
I still don't. I don't see it though. I don't. I'll take it, but I don't see it.
Maybe it's just when you put on your sunglasses.
Did Arnie even wear sunglasses in it? I don't remember either.
You just wear sunglasses a lot, so I didn't know.
Not in my videos.
Not in your videos. He
Or
does
the-
in real life,
I
though.
wear those They Live sunglasses. No, I don't. I wear aviators. But all right, I'm gonna let you talk more about that film because I know that film is high up on your list.
I love it.
I know it is. I was shocked when we did the video last time, and you were yeah. So we're getting what to your number 4?
Yep, number 4.
Okay.
Now this is where everybody is going to hate me. Halloween.
Halloween.
Yeah.
I think it's okay because I'm gonna go ahead. I'm just gonna say one thing, and I'm gonna let you talk.
Okay.
I think Halloween is extremely overrated. It deserves all the credit that it gets, but I still think
yeah.
it's overrated as shit. It is, and I'll get to that. But you go ahead and talk about it. This is your thing.
Well, Halloween, it's just the definition of a classic movie.
Yes.
I mean, everybody knows it. Everybody's heard the soundtrack. You can watch it every year, no problem. You can watch it every Halloween and enjoy it each and every time.
Yeah.
It doesn't get old, really. It's completely amazing. There are just other films that I liked a little bit better. That's it.
Yeah, it definitely. I mean, this film is higher for. I do think it is overrated. Because I mean, if you can't tell, I'm a huge Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan, and that's just opinions. You know, like, and I like Black Christmas and stuff, but like, I still think Halloween is a 10 out of a 10 masterpiece. But like, people say it's like this, just the greatest slasher ever, and I just have to disagree.
Yeah.
But it's okay. It's just my opinion. I get it. I understand why people love the film.
Oh, absolutely.
I really do. But I mean, golly, like, I hear so much about it, and I'm like, it's great, but like, where's the love for Texas Chainsaw, The Burning, Black Christmas, you know? Like, I love those films. I grew up with those films. I grew up with Halloween too, but I'll talk about it a little bit later. So, okay. We're going to my number 4?
Your number 4?
So, my number 4, have you talked about this one yet?
Mm-mm.
So, I gotta leave it there.
Yeah, you gotta leave it there.
Gotta leave it there.
For me.
Yeah, for you. So, my number 4 is Starman. So, Jeff Bridges got nominated for, what was it, lead actor at the Oscars?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. He deserved it too. He played a really good, like, alien.
Oh, yeah.
But he was a human.
He did amazing.
He did do amazing. And it's like this road movie. And apparently they went to a bunch of different locations. There was a scene where they're, I guess, supposed to be in Wisconsin or Colorado, but they're really in Tennessee, and I knew it. I can't say anything. I'm not allowed to. But I knew it. And, yeah. There's just some things I wish I could say. But I knew it, though.
Yeah.
And it was good. I knew as soon as I saw the location and stuff, I knew it was. I was like, I know exactly where that is. You don't got me fooled.
Because we know. I mean, we've been to Tennessee quite a few times.
Yeah.
So.
But that's not the reason why.
No.
But one day. And also, I seriously, I love the romance in this. This is like the most John Carpenter film that there is. It feels a lot like a Spielberg film. I guess imagine Easy Rider and E.T. mixed together.
I can see that.
That's what this film reminds me of, and it's very underrated too. And it's one of John Carpenter's longest, if
Oh.
not his longest. I think so.
Yeah,
I do. It's like an hour and 50. Yeah, it's about 2 hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
2 hours and 55 minutes. Or 1 hour and 55
no,
minutes.
it's not 2 hours.
That's not what I meant to say.
All right, so.
On to my number 3.
Yeah, you're number 3.
Well, Natalie's already said it. Starman.
Starman. So our lists are pretty similar.
Yeah, they're just a couple off.
Yeah,
here
we're just
and
a
there.
little bit off.
But I love Starman.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, the romance in it was so sweet, and it was one of those that you wouldn't think they would be together, but it happens and it works.
Yeah.
But they had such chemistry, and I love the whole road atmosphere.
Yeah, very well paced.
Very.
Because the direction it was going, because it was a romance, I was like, they're not going to have enough time to build these characters up or start a good relationship, and I was like, it's like, dang, okay, they did a pretty good job.
They did.
They did a pretty good job. It's a sweet movie. It is a sweet movie, and it ends. Well, I won't say. I almost said something, but it's good. I stopped myself.
But I don't know. I love how John Carpenter. I've read in the little trivia facts that he wanted to just take everyone on a big road trip to film it. And I thought that was really cool. I think they started in LA and ended up in New York, just going like down and up. So I bet it was a lot of fun to film too.
Oh yeah.
And Jeff Bridges is, of course, he did crazy good. I
Yeah.
don't know if I could ever.
He's so different in this compared to his other roles in like Big Lebowski and stuff. He is just.
It's very different.
It is different. It is.
And I love the powers.
Yeah.
The powers were so sweet.
Yeah, especially with like the little balls in his hand and stuff. Yeah.
Mhm.
And then the beginning of it with the spaceship and everything. It's cool. I like it.
I like it.
It's cheesy, but it's fun.
All right, top 3, Labu.
So my number 3?
Yep.
Okay, so my number 3 is Halloween. It is higher up than yours. Now, I
Yeah, it
admit,
is.
when I say it's overrated, I really don't mean any disrespect. It's just
No.
overrated in my opinion. There's not much you can say about it. It's a classic. It's a masterpiece. I remember whenever I was little, I used to go to this video store, and I used to rent movies. And I remember there being like a Friday the 13th Part 10 and stuff, but there wasn't. But I was stupid and young, like just a little peepsqueak. I was like 4, 5, 6, something like that. And I was going into this store, and I remember seeing all these like films, Texas Chainsaw Massacres, Friday the 13th, Sleepaway Camps, and I was overwhelmed. And that was back when I just watched horror when I was just little, you know. But yeah, but I remember the VHS that I picked up. It was the one that had just the mask on it, and but then I got the DVD, and the DVD sort of has like the pumpkin, the pumpkin. I think that's the most popular DVD cover. I think that was Anchor Bay that released that one, but yeah, and then of course now I got the Blu-ray set. But Halloween is just a classic. I remember it wasn't the first Halloween film that I'd seen. I'd seen the 5th one. I'd seen the part where Donald Pleasance, Dr. Loomis, and I think Jamie Lloyd, I think they were going through like the air vents or whatever. And I remember that. That's always going to be a standout like moment like of my childhood is watching that part, because I remember I think I was in my mom's room or I was in the living room, and I remember watching that and being absolutely terrified. And now I can watch it and be like, all right, that ain't nothing. And it's like one of those scenes where, like I said the same thing with Matilda. It's like I felt like when they're like inside, let me know if you guys feel this way, but I felt like when they were inside the house, it felt like they were like in there for 5 hours running away from this, Trenchbull or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it ends up being only like 10 minutes. And that's how I feel with the air vents. Was like, it feels like such a long scene. And then watching it now, it's like 5 minutes long.
When we were watching Matilda, as soon as that part happened, he was like, "Oh, this takes up the rest of the movie. It's a crazy scene." And then after 10 minutes, it was over. It was like, you were so shook.
Yeah. Oh man, fun times.
Oh yes.
Fun times. That's Halloween for you. All right, what's your number 2?
Number 2.
Yep, pretty high up there.
Very high up there. Christine.
Christine, another one of our 4Ks.
Yes. But I am just absolutely in love with this movie. The special effects, the whole shift from Arnie, like starting out to what he is after he has the car. It is so, I don't know, it's crazy to watch. I love the high school like, I don't know, I guess the high school atmosphere in
Yeah,
this movie.
using like high school kids. This was back when they cast like people that were like 30 years old, that looking like they're 30 and 40, but they're supposed to be seniors in high school.
Yep. And I remember this is one of my dad's favorites. And whenever I was little, he was like, "Okay, Kelsey, I think you're finally old enough to watch this movie because there was like some nudity in it or something." And that was just like such a big moment. But I didn't even like it as much then as I do now. Just rewatching it, I can really appreciate what this movie has to offer.
Such a big moment. You finally got to see nudity.
Yeah, all like 5 seconds, and
I
probably hid my highs anyway. So.
I watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre when I was like 3. I think I was 3 or 4, and I used to sneak in the living room and watch Nip Tuck.
What's that?
You don't know what Nip Tuck is? You guys probably know what Nip Tuck is. I seen some raunchy stuff in that. I seen some raunchy stuff. All right, my number 2, Big Trouble in Little China. Now, Daske, he's another YouTuber. I've actually contacted him before. We've talked just once, and we have mutual friends. If you guys know who Daske is, if you can get in contact with him, I would love to do a video with him. We love Daske. Daske is such an awesome dude. If you're watching this, Daske, we love you. But man, you could read me. I want him to read me a bedtime story one day. I just want to like just snuggle up and just let him read me a bedtime story. But this is one of I think his favorite films, and I can see why. I mean, there are certain films that when it ends, I'm just like, oh, wait, I wish we could just go back to it. Like Stand By Me, The Goonies, Lost Boys. Love those films, and this sort of has that same atmosphere that those have. And I was just pleasantly surprised with it. It's wacky, it's crazy. I love Kurt Russell in it. But you said that in Escape from L.A. in New York, he sort of took on this like Clint Eastwood type character, and then in this he took on this John Wayne type, which I can definitely see. And it's just so much fun. It is. It's one of those films that you can just sit back, relax, turn the lights off, eat a bunch of popcorn, and just watch. It's fun. It's a cheesy just a cheesy atmosphere, a cheesy action movie. I need to quit talking really fast, but it's just so much fun. I didn't expect it to be this high up, but it is number 2. I don't think I could say that number 1 and 2 are interchangeable though, because my number 1 I'm pretty set on it, and if we have the same number 1, we're gonna hold it up at the same time.
All right, come here.
Don't ruin the movie. The Thing.
The Thing.
The Thing. I love The Thing. The prequel's good too, but I mean, The Thing is amazing. This film, so it has Ennio Morricone, however you pronounce his name. Which the crazy thing is his score got nominated for a Razzie in this, and then it goes on to win an Oscar in The Hateful Eight. And they reused, I think, stuff from this, which sucks.
That's shitty.
That's
very shitty.
That's shitty. Everybody thought that John Carpenter, like everybody thought this film was ass when it first came out, just like The Shining. But now it's like regarded as one of the greatest horror films ever made, and I think that because John Carpenter was a really big fan of The Thing from Another World, and he actually used that like on the screen in Halloween, and you could tell John Carpenter was proud of this film, and he should be, because it sucks that this film just didn't get the love that it deserved in its prime. Because this film is like, this is seriously, I think it's the greatest whodunit. It's got one of the greatest endings ever. It's got Kurt Russell and Keith David. I mean, what more can you ask for? I mean, seriously, this film is just, if you have anything to say, I've said it, I could just tell y'all this is a masterpiece. I can't say anything else about this film that hasn't been said before.
Yeah. I like it because I feel like it's more sci-fi. Like, it has horror stuff. I feel like it's more like a sci-fi, like, alien movie. I love it.
Well, we'll have to agree.
It's scary.
We'll have to agree to disagree. Because I think it's more horror, in my opinion. But it definitely is really, like, sci-fi.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, it could be either one. It's seriously just a mystery. Because, I mean, it's a horror movie. But I'm not scared. I don't get scared of it, you know? Like, but it's good. It's good.
When are we going to Antarctica?
Never. I don't know. I don't have any plans on going to Antarctica.
It'd be fun.
No, it wouldn't.
You can relive your favorite John Carpenter movie.
Yeah, that's exactly what I want to do. He's actually livid. But anyway, guys, that's our top 15. I hope we didn't drag on too long. We have more tops or rankings coming here soon. We're going to be doing one for Ingmar Bergman. We're going to be doing one for Federico Fellini. I'm going to be doing one for Bong Joon-ho here soon, and we'll be doing one for World of Wong Kar-wai. Alfred Hitchcock will be coming soon as well, so stay tuned for that. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button, maybe subscribe. Let me know your top 15 or John Carpenter ranking down in the comments below. Hope you're staying safe wherever you're at. And we'll see you guys next time.